Welcome back to Baltimore, everyone, where the Baltimore Ravens have won the toss and will defer, which means that they will kick it away to Indianapolis. That is Chad Simpson, who is deep for the Indianapolis Colts, and getting set to kick it away for Baltimore. The new kicker that they signed this week, the veteran Billy Cundiff, and we are underway here in Baltimore. This one will bounce inside the 10, and Simpson at the goal line. Won't make it to the 15. The Colts unbeaten this season. The Ravens trying to put a stop to that here today. Manning will throw it. And he'll throw it deep down the middle, incomplete. Double coverage on number 85, Pierre Garçon.
Manning got that out of the way on the very first play.
On second down, the give is to a guy turning the corner on the left side, but not for very much. Indianapolis, the best in the NFL on third down. Sideline. That's complete. And across the 25 out to about the 30 is Reggie Wayne.
And Ray Lewis comes in on a blitz and he drops Peyton Manning, but Peyton stands there, knows it's coming, and he delivers it at the last second. Here comes Lewis up the middle. Down Peyton goes. He never sees the completion. He couldn't step into it, but look at the quality of the throw that he drops right in on Reggie Wayne.
And the quality of the route by Reggie Wayne. He was wide open. First down. Colts now at their own 29. A dive wrapped up in a hurry by Kelly Gregg, the nose tackle.
Well, this is a running game for Indianapolis, which, you know, ever since Edgerrin James has never been dominant, but again, they're only hurrying along at about 86 yards a game. That puts them towards the bottom of the National Football League, 29th to be precise. Of course, they're the #1 rated passing game, but still, they would like to run it more efficiently.
Loss of 1, second and 11. Pump fake. Manning deep, has his man, got him inside the 40. Pierre Garçon inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal for Indianapolis.
The master manipulator, Peyton Manning. He turns his shoulders, he pumps, he swivels his hips. He does more things to influence a secondary than any quarterback in football, and that's exactly what he did right there. Fabian Washington is number 31. The pump fake by Manning, he's looking in the backfield. If he had safety help from Ed Reed, it's way too late to be a factor.
Coach Harbaugh told us if we don't let him throw the ball over our heads, we'll be tough. Didn't stop him there. First and goal. A dive to maybe the 3.
How disappointing is this, Greg, for Baltimore to be backed up at their end zone at the goal line when they had Indianapolis exactly where they wanted them, a 3rd and 12. John Harbaugh deferred, gave the Colts the football, and was so close to a 3 and out that would have looked brilliant, and now here they are backed up to their own goal line. You can yell all you want, folks. He could care less.
Manning throwing, corner end zone. Oh, pulled in beautifully by Dallas Clark for the touchdown.
Dallas never even felt the need to get his left hand involved to show that he had possession. I'll bet you that when Peyton Manning let this go, he thought he overthrew Dallas Clark. Look at that. Oh, folks, that is as pretty as anything you'll see in a long time. And with that reception, Dallas Clark passes the great John Mackey for the most receptions ever by a Colts tight end.
His 4th of the season. Baltimore on top 7-0. Making it look easier than it's supposed to be. Peyton Manning and the Colts go 87 yards in 7 plays in just over 3.5 minutes. And there you see Dallas Clark.
Well, a giant backfire on the Ravens' gamble to give the Colts the ball to start the game when they won the coin toss.
Ladarius Webb, a couple of yards deep in the end zone for Baltimore. To the 20. Lost the ball. Covered by the Colts.
Well, it looked to, well, this is going to be a real question when that ball came loose. At first blush, it looked like it didn't come out until after he'd hit the ground. But maybe he lost possession before he hit the ground. Let's watch it. Ooh, the ball gets poked out at the last minute. Where were his knees? Lacy hits it. Ooh, it looks to me like his knee might have been on the ground before that ball gets knocked loose. It is awfully close.
And the challenge flag is on the field.
You have to challenge
from the Baltimore sideline.
Oh, you have to. Now the ruling on the field was that it was
Baltimore
a fumble.
has challenged the previous play of a fumble versus down by contact. We'll review the play.
Welcome back to Baltimore, everyone. Referee John Perry taking a look at the pictures that we've just seen during the break, and we can tell why he's taking a long time, because this is a tough one, Dan.
Yeah, it's all now going to be about the left leg of Webb. Let's concentrate here as we zoom in. Watch his left leg. It's not down yet, not down. There it goes down. And does he still have the ball, or is it on its way out? Oh, it is so close.
Remember, the call on the field is a fumble recovered by the Colts.
Now, Webb still had control of the ball when it was away from his body for a while, but then it got pulled out. I'm not sure he can overturn
After reviewing the play, the runner was down by contact.
He did.
At the time, the left shin and the left knee was down. The ball was still in possession. Therefore, Baltimore is not charged with the timeout. 1st and 10, right hash. So
instead of what could have been a disastrous turnover deep in their own territory, Baltimore from their own 21. Ray Rice squirms for about 3 or 4. On 2nd and 8, Rice again. Very little. 3rd and 6. Flacco throwing far side. That is complete to Kelly Washington, and enough for a 1st down.
Well, every time you watch Joe Flacco throw an out pattern, you realize what a special arm this guy has. It is a rocket launcher, and you really can see it. And of course, every corner in the NFL can see it when you throw that deep out. It is a laser.
On 1st down, Flacco. Out here to Rice. And Rice forced out across the 35-yard line to about the 37.
Well, no one in this stadium hopes that the running game and the short passing game can be effective on 1st and 2nd down more than Jared Gaither and Michael Orr, because they are 2 talented young tackles, and they are extremely talented, but nobody wins a consistent 3rd and long battle with Mathis and Freeman.
There's the give to Rice up the middle, across the 40 to about the 42, and it'll leave about a yard to go for a 1st down.
Of course, Michael Orr, the movie about his adolescent years and on to the University of Mississippi, in a movie that opened up around the country. Talk about a distraction. You know, football coaches hate that word.
How are ticket sales going?
That can't be easy.
LaRon McClain looking for the 1st down and gets it to the 45-yard line. 3-yard pickup on the play. It'll be 1st down Baltimore.
Ray Lewis is going, feel free to string about another 8 or 9 of those first downs together and end up with a touchdown. It's a smallish front 4. Now it's actually a smallish front 7 for Indianapolis. So this has been something the Ravens have tried to do over the years, just hammer away, try to outmuscle them at the line of scrimmage. Unfortunately, the Colts have won the last 6 meetings between these two.
Willis McGahee into the lineup now. Flacco throwing near side of the field, and that is complete to the 45 of the Indianapolis Colts to Derek Mason. And another first down.
Sometimes you watch a football game and you see teams that they just don't operate very much between the sidelines and the numbers. And that's because they're not comfortable with their quarterback's ability to exploit that part of the field. Well, that's not the case with that guy, but Joe Flacco on the other side as well. 2 quarterbacks that use sideline to sideline in the passing game.
First down, Baltimore. To give it to McGahee. And McGahee wrapped up at about the 41. Now the challenge for this Baltimore offense, they haven't scored a first half touchdown in their last 4 games.
It's really hard to believe they've gotten off to such slow starts. That is so disappointing, especially the way they started the season. You know, they just came out of the box. They scored 38, 31, and 34 points their first 3 games for offensive coordinator Cam Cameron. But to have that kind of production and then have it come to such a screeching halt.
Play clock is down to 7, and Flacco has to call a timeout.
Apparently that's what they're thinking here.
Second and 6. Flacco pump fake. Now throws short. And that's complete to McGahee. And McGahee inside the 35 and enough for another first down.
Well, excellent job there by Willis McGahee of making somebody miss. This wasn't going anywhere. He catches it right about the line of scrimmage. But that's a nice job of staying alive, getting away from Gary Brackett. Freeney goes to the inside and gets run right into the pile by Gaither, who then is smart enough to come off and pick up the looping tackle coming around. Nice work by Jared Gaither, the extremely large and talented left tackle.
Meanwhile, Flacco 4 for 4 throwing the football so far. Deep drop, sideline pass, and that's batted away by number 27, the rookie Jacob Lacey.
Well, Jacob Lacey has time to react back to this. This is, again, a deep out pattern to Mason. And the ball's in the air for a long time, but that is nice work by a rookie.
You know, it's interesting, Dan. John Harbaugh told us that when they try to throw deep, it's a little guy trying to make a play for them, and it's apparent their game today has been short so far. On the draw, Rice tripped up as he crossed the 30 to about the 27-yard line. Gary Brackett makes the stop.
Well, this drive exactly what the Ravens wanted and were looking for after that opening 7-point drive by the Colts. They needed to give their defense a chance to gather themselves on the sidelines, and this has been a very efficient drive for the Ravens.
Flacco now looking at a 3rd and 4. 12th play of this drive. Flacco throwing, overthrows the intended receiver Mason.
And that was another typical 3rd down situation for Indianapolis, where they are so comfortable only rushing 4 people, dropping the remaining 7 back into coverage. Such a luxury to play pass defense with 7 people when you can get a consistent pass rush. Nice job by Jennings underneath, safety over the top.
And onto the field now, Billy Cundiff, the newly signed Billy Cundiff, to replace Steve Hauschka, who just missed 1 too many field goals for Coach Harbaugh's liking. Missed from 46 yards out. Just inside that upright.
And no one pays more homage to the great John Unitas than Peyton Manning.
This is Chad Simpson from the 3. Hit hard at the 20, forward to about the 23-yard line. First down, Colts, their own 24. The Ravens faithful, cheering on their defense. Play fake, Manning throws, popped up into the air and intercepted. Picked off by Juan Landry. And the turnover goes to the Ravens.
Well, Peyton was trying to get it to Dallas Clark, but there were a whole lot of purple jerseys in the vicinity. Now, first of all, after the play action, Peyton enjoys really, really good protection. But he had to float it over, and you can see that Washington was standing right in front of it. He comes in, it really hits him much more than Dallas Clark, and it doesn't get a whole lot easier for Juan Landry than to just wait for it to come back down. Peyton was very aggressive trying to jam that in and paid for it.
Now Flacco and company at the Indy 29. Ray Rice left side for a couple to about the 26. Manning's 8th interception of the season.
Well, that's against 21 touchdown passes. I don't think that his confidence is affected in any way, but again, that was throwing into the heart of the coverage. The Ravens defensively were ready for that pattern by Clark, and there were just a whole bunch of them there waiting.
Flacco to throw. Has time. Throwing end zone incomplete. Melvin Bullock coming over to knock the pass down.
And Melvin Bullock should have intercepted it. Joe Flacco, I don't think, knew that Bullock was going to be coming in from his left. He's looking at the coverage by Lacy, but coming in from the left is going to be Bullock, and he got both hands on that football. You're allowed to catch it.
3rd and 7. Far side of the field and batted away once again. Tim Jennings making the play on Derek Mason.
Well, this Colts secondary, they can cover some ground, and when you're throwing a deep pattern like this is the second deep out that we've seen to Mason. There hasn't been enough separation from the Colts corner to be able to get it in there.
So here's Cundiff once again. This one from 44 yards out. He made one a few moments ago from 46. Kick on its way. Looks good. Billy Cundiff, welcome to Baltimore. Kind of a strange thing that happens here in Baltimore where the locals just really refuse to call Indianapolis the Colts, Dan.
You always put the team's nickname up there, but not here. The word Colts is never uttered by the Baltimore faithful. When they're introduced, the PA guy actually goes, and here's the Indianapolis professional football team. Colts is never said around here unless it's in a negative way.
TJ rushing from inside the 10-yard line to the 20. Cut down at about the 22 or 23-yard line in a late flag. Late flag thrown from the near side.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 54 of the return team. 10-yard penalty, 1st and 10, Indianapolis.
That penalty called on Freddie Keaho.
There he is right there in the middle of the screen. You can see Freddie tried to put his hands up in the air to try to demonstrate that he wasn't really shoving the guy.
That's the universal sign for I didn't do it, isn't
yes,
it?
yeah, it is. But it also kind of draws attention to yourself. It's kind of a confession as well.
So Manning and the Colts will start from their own 11. Ray Lewis from the other side. a dive across the 25 to about the 27-yard line.
Good news for the Ravens today is that Haloti Ngata, their extremely talented defensive tackle who's got a bad ankle and was a game-time decision, is able to go. Although watching him, he's not quite as nimble as he normally is. And you don't normally hear the word nimble used with someone 350 pounds. In Ngata's case, it's a good use of words.
You bet. 2nd and 3. Manning will throw for a quick pop. That is complete to the far side. Tom Santee, the tight end.
Well, Peyton Manning, as you see with that completion to Santee, if you have a role to fill and you're the receiver, it doesn't matter whether you're little used or if you're Reggie Wayne, it doesn't matter. Peyton Manning finds the open player and gets him the ball. That was Santee's first catch of the year.
Already 4 different receivers. Manning fakes the handoff, throws over the middle, has his man across the 40. Midfield is Santee again, and Tom Santee getting into the swing of things in a hurry here in Baltimore.
Well, again, a good play-action fake this time by Peyton Manning. You see, right? Look how long he has the ball in there in the midsection of Joseph Adai, and Ray Lewis has to honor that. See, just that step forward was enough, kept Ray from getting back into his hook zone. Give credit to Peyton Manning and Joseph Adai. Excellent play fake.
Now from the Baltimore 47. Adai. Maybe 2. Talk about 2 teams that need a win.
Hey, and JB makes a point. When the backup to the backup is making plays, you're in good shape.
Manning on 2nd and 7, fakes, throws far side of the field, and that's incomplete. You know, I asked Peyton yesterday, we know that you go through your normal gyrations out there at the line of scrimmage, but after a while, when you've played against a Ray Lewis so much, doesn't it get a little superfluous? He goes, oh yeah, they know, and we know they know, and they know we know they know.
Well, like John Harbaugh told us, Peyton Manning audibles, and then he really audibles. It's the second or the third one is the one they're actually going to attempt to execute.
3rd and 7. Manning with time, near side of the field. That is complete to Adai.
Ooh, I don't think he got there.
And it is ruled incomplete or out of bounds. Let's see. Complete out of bounds, and did he make it to the first down marker?
Boy, if at first glance I thought he was a little short.
Just a touch short.
Yeah, it is short.
And they will go for it.
Not even close enough for a measurement. But about what? What do you figure? A couple feet?
If that. Play clock winding down, and timeout is called before the play clock clicks in. During that brief timeout, Peyton Manning paid a visit to his coach on the sideline. That's how Indy has been on 4th down this season. Joseph Adai behind Manning. On 4th and not much. Adai has the first down to the 35.
Boy, Haloti Ngata got penetration and got tackled.
And we have a penalty marker down.
He got tackled.
Holding. Number 63. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay. 4th down.
That's on the center, Jeff Saturday, the 3-time Pro Bowler.
Well, I'm a long ways away, and it was pretty obvious to me. Watch Ngata come slicing through, and right there, Jeff Saturday just grabs both his ankles, and that is a fine open field tackle by Jeff Saturday there.
I was about to say, on the positive side, that's a great tackle.
Good form. It was very nice. If only defensive backs could tackle that well.
So now Pat McAfee will kick it away. Fair catch called for at the 10-yard line and made by Chris Carr. There was a sale on makeup in downtown Baltimore.
You know what, the NFL fans, I don't care what city you're in. How even is that for the first quarter? It doesn't matter what city you are in. Their fans get into it. They have fun.
No one has the monopoly on playing dress up.
No, well, I don't know. Oakland might be the leader of the clubhouse.
First down. Here's McGahee. McGahee with a little bit of room up front. He squeezes through to 10. And let's see if that's the last play of the first quarter.
I don't know that the Ravens are in a hurry to run a play. They're going to let the clock run out.
And you're right. They will take their good time as time winds down here in the first quarter. And they'll take the trek to the other end of the field, and we'll take a timeout. That is the end of the first quarter. As we welcome you back to Baltimore for the start of the second quarter, how about this three-game stretch the Ravens are looking at with Indianapolis here, Pittsburgh here next week, and then Dan traveling to Green Bay?
No, it's and this is the stretch of the schedule where they were hoping to have a little more of a cushion than the one that they don't have at 5-4.
Coach Harbaugh said they've been talking with the team now for a while about this being the critical part of the season. McGahee carrying Antonio Johnson, putting the stops.
Well, Greg, when you look at the year so far for Baltimore, they are 5-4. But keep in mind, of their 5 wins, only 2 of them really came against a quality team. They did beat San Diego, and they crushed Denver. But their other 3 wins, 2 of them against Cleveland and 1 of them against Kansas City. Those are 2 of the worst teams in the NFL. So this current edition of the Ravens still has a lot to prove as to how they play against a really good team.
People are lining up to play Cleveland.
They might have gotten Michael Orr for a false start there at right tackle, coming back early.
False start, number 74, offense, 5-yard penalty, third down.
A rookie who's the first-round draft pick out of Mississippi.
I played right tackle my whole career, and let me tell you something. I love this guy, and that's part of it. Just trying to, you want to leave on the microsecond that ball is snapped. He beat it really early. Michael Orr has everything you want in a tackle. He's aggressive. He's got outstanding feet, good balance. All he needs is experience, and he tries to anticipate that snap count, and he's had more than a couple false starts. He did it again right there and barely got away with it.
Here's Rice out of the backfield. Can't get away at the 12-yard line and goes down. Tim Jennings making the fine tackle.
Well, nothing new about the Indianapolis Colts and their ability to fly to the football. You saw Michael Oregon getting a great get-off, and he got some help against Mathis. You got to get off the ball if you're going to block a defensive end. But, hey, this goes back to Tony Dungy's philosophy. Anything dumped short is going to attract a lot of Colts, and they get there in a swarm.
And once again, Flacco with that magnificent arm, but not throwing the ball deep. TJ rushing is deep. Sam Cook gets a driving kick away. Pulled in at the 39 by Rushing. Penalty marker is down, and he gets it back across the 45. You saw number 84, Edgar Jones. He might be the culprit here.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 45 of the return team. 10-yard penalty.
A look at Colts head man Jim Caldwell, for years Peyton Manning's position coach and then assistant head coach to Tony Dungy, and seems to be doing okay as the head coach, don't you think?
Yeah, maybe.
Donald Brown in the game, in the background, the fake to him. Manning throws on the slant, and that's complete to Pierre Garçon. Oh, JB, like, you don't think we know that?
Tattletale.
Thanks, James. Second and 5. Manning going through his routine. And gives it to Donald Brown, and Brown not much there.
Boy, Jarrett Johnson collapsed that play, slashing in off the edge. And there's one thing called setting the edge, and then there's taking that edge and using it to just totally crash it all the way inside. He's an outside linebacker, and he ends up making that tackle behind the center.
You know, we asked Jim Caldwell about Donald Brown, and he said he's a young guy who has talent, but most importantly, that fits within our system. Brown in the backfield now with Manning.
And the system is everything in Indianapolis.
Manning throwing. Oh, diving catch made just short of midfield by Austin Collie, the rookie out of BYU.
Well, we talked about Joe Flacco and his arm strength. It's time for Peyton Manning to demonstrate. Flacco's not the only guy here that can toss one out outside the numbers with a little velocity to it. Working against Dominique Foxworth. Foxworth complaining that he pushed off. Nothing even close to a push off. And that was the 6th different receiver that's caught a Peyton Manning ball today.
First down just shy of midfield. And Manning going to give this to Donald Brown, who tries to turn the corner. It does on the right side and out of bounds short of the 40-yard line.
You've got to have good blocking up front for a running back to run parallel to the line of scrimmage like that for that long and then turn the corner. One, it requires a good block, and secondly, to do it without getting a holding penalty. Look at that right out front, and you guess who made the block? Tom Santee. Hasn't he had a first half so far?
How about the patience shown by a rookie running back, Donald Brown, on that turning the corner?
Well, it's hard to get to that corner. A lot of times there's a holding style block going on that gets called.
Second and 4. Manning short drop, short pass. Right at the first down marker is Santee. And with that, Peyton Manning goes over the 3,000-yard mark for the 12th consecutive year. He has 9 years of 4,000 plus. He might make it in this league.
And how happy is he that Tom Moore came back? Looked like Moore was going to retire, and continuity has been something that Peyton Manning has really enjoyed in his offensive life in Indianapolis.
3rd and 1. And a timeout. It's nice that the fans come out with gift-giving ideas as Christmas approaches. As you look at the rushing yards against passing yardage, there's no surprise there. This Indy team will throw the football. Brown in the backfield. Play clock down to 3. Manning will give it to Brown, and Brown, diving for the first down, appears to have it at the 40. This young man, a UConn graduate, how happy must he have been yesterday afternoon with the University of Connecticut beating Notre Dame.
How happy do you think he was on draft day to get the phone call that you've been drafted by the prolific Indianapolis Colts? Ray looks like he's got something wrong with one of his legs. He's wincing a little bit as he's walking kind of tenderly.
Peyton now first down at the Baltimore 40. Play fake to Brown. Manning looking, and got rid of it. And Ray Lewis looked just fine chasing him down there.
Peyton Manning is so good at play action, and it's amazing because this is a team that doesn't run the ball very well. Mark Wolf, our producer, telling us we might have a look here at what happened to Ray Lewis. This was the previous play. Oh, you could see he got that leg caught underneath. Ooh. Yes, you can see him clutching that right. Oh, and right there, that's not Ray Lewis, the guy we know in terms of how he can run. That ankle pretty obviously right there bothering him. Good look, guys, catching him.
Manning, pump fake, going deep for Wayne, intercepted inside the 10-yard line by Ed Reed. Back to the 30, to the 40, across the 45-yard line.
Peyton Manning, a I'll guarantee you knew where Ed Reed was, and it had to fool him that he got all the way there.
Early on in our meeting with Peyton Manning, he said, first thing, you have to watch Ed Reed because he has such incredible athletic ability.
Well, Peyton did a pump fake on that, and when you do a pump fake, you can't look off the safety, and that led Ed Reed to the ball.
Flacco running out of time, dumps it off to McClain. McClain across midfield to about the 47. Let's go back to that interception.
Yeah, we're looking from behind. You see that pump fake, but Manning's looking left the whole time, and that takes Ed Reed from center field to come in behind Foxworth and make a pretty easy pick on the ball. But again, Ed Reed, see, look, you can't look off a safety if you're going to do a pump fake. It's impossible. How are you going to fake the corner if you're looking someplace else? So those eyes took Ed Reed from center field all the way over to the right field line to make that pick.
And Ed Reed stepping in front of his old roommate from the University of Miami, Reggie Wayne. That's Ray Rice looking for the first down and appears to have it. Reggie Wayne told us yesterday, people ask him, how well do you know Ed Reed? He goes, I roomed with him for 4 years, not much.
Yeah, we've met.
Ray Rice. Rice to the 36.
I'll tell you another thing about Ed Reed. It's only his 8th year in the league. Doesn't it seem like he's been playing forever? He just came into the league in 2002. It just seems like he has been a part of this game for much longer than just 8 years. Landry
has registered his 4th pick of the year. Ed Reed, that was his 3rd of the year, and they've each returned a pick for a touchdown this year. Rice running room inside the 25 and another Baltimore first down. Antoine Bethea making the tackle.
How about the look on Joe Flacco's face? He does the handoff and then carries out his fake, and then all of a sudden finds himself as the lead blocker. What am I think Joe decided, I don't believe I'll finish this off and go down and try to throw a block.
Looking good on your own.
You're on your own, Ray.
First down from the 22. Here's Rice again. This time, looks like he may have lost about a yard. No gain. It'll be 2nd and 10. Eric Foster and Gary Brackett making the stop. 5:50 to play in the first half. Indianapolis scored a quick touchdown, and the Ravens defense has put the brakes on since then.
Well, the Ravens got 3 points off of the last Manning interception. We'll see what they get off of this one, but boy, you don't count on Peyton Manning giving you the football.
Ravens looking for their first red zone trip of the day. And Rice to about the 20.
Boy, Gary Brackett, he moved it on the other side of the line of scrimmage. He really knifed in there. That's the way a middle linebacker does it. There he is right there in the middle. Look at him. He picks his crease and then comes right in and just takes the legs out from Ray Rice. That's called scraping right off and then coming back in, getting your hips and shoulders upfield. Drop the ball carrier.
And now here is a big 3rd and 7 for Baltimore. Under pressure, over the middle, incomplete.
Boy, now that is a different look by the Colts, who used to, in years gone by when Tony Dungy was the head coach, rarely blitzed. That time, that looked like the Ravens. Look at all the guys coming. Look at this. That is a 7-man blitz. That is something you rarely ever used to see from the Colts. Just one of the subtle differences between the 09 version and years past.
Here's another subtle difference. The Billy Cundiff offense here in Baltimore.
Yes, it's been in play now for what? A quarter and a half.
He's been good from 46 and 44. This is from 38 yards out, and it is good. For the first time today, the Baltimore Ravens have the lead. 4:43 to play in the first half here in Baltimore. Ravens are wild today.
You know, Greg, we've done a lot of post-game recaps where we've said, boy, remember when they had to settle for field goals instead of touchdowns? Congrats to the Ravens for being out front, but we'll see whether settling for field goals makes a long-range difference.
Chad Simpson at the 5. Bouncing off tacklers, but not able to get past the 20-yard line. Chris Carr finally making the stop. Once again, the very vocal Baltimore crowd. There's Ed Reed. And Manning will start things off with a give to a die. He tries the left side. 5 yards, 10, and more. Run out of bounds at the 40-yard line, and it's a first down. Run out by Dewan Landry.
And another good block at the point of attack by Tom Santee, the tight end. There he is, number 86 right there. He gets into Trevor Price and, you know, locks him up, and long enough that Adai's are able to get around the corner.
You know, it's a theme that both Jim Caldwell and Peyton Manning were bringing up, how the depth has improved. You figure a team is weakened by injuries, they see it as opportunity.
They see a real strength of this team, their young players.
Manning with time, throwing over the middle, pulled in by Tom Santee.
Well, we watched Dallas Clark catch a touchdown pass where he passed John Mackey, but now it's Tom Santee who's acting like John Mackey. What a first half this guy is having. Big guy, 6'3", 250, but he's blocked. He's shown soft hands, elevation. Look at that.
Acting an awful lot like Santa Claus as we approach December.
Oh, I'd be embarrassed if I said that.
Thank you very much. First down.
That was Greg Gumbel, not me.
Joseph Adai, right side, turns the corner and out of bounds short of the 30-yard line. Some people have no shame.
No. Tom Santee, how about this guy? He is. Again, though, you talk to anyone on the Colts, and they talk about their young players, whether it's Santee or Garcon or Austin Collie. When it's their turn, they get it done. And right now, Santee's being looked at by the training staff.
And Jacob Tammy has replaced him on the field. 2nd and 5. Once again, it's a dive. Down at the 32.
Yeah, Santee he took a huge hit after that completion across the middle. He made it another play, but then came out. I wonder, it looks like he's struggling to breathe.
Big 3rd and 5. Manning, sideline. Reggie Wayne made the catch inside the 20-yard line, and it'll be a first down.
Boy, that is just one-on-one. Reggie Wayne and Dominique Foxworth. And look at the perfect pass, the toe drag by Reggie Wayne. Look at that. Look at him drag that. That's just beautiful. Everybody sees his right foot.
And John Harbaugh just threw the challenge flag.
Well, it looked to me like he had established the right foot by dragging it well before it ever went up.
I think what the fans are reacting to is that foot stepping on the sideline, but I thought, you're right, Dan, I thought he dragged his foot before that.
I thought he had possession and established the right foot before that. There's possession. He's dragging his right foot. It then comes up and goes out of bounds.
Baltimore has decided not to challenge the previous play.
And I think that may have come to John Harbaugh from upstairs.
Yes, and he got some good advice, because that is a completed. So you take a look at, even though there's the ball, he's got possession, he's dragging it, his left is down. That was a smart move by Harbaugh, picking up that challenge.
Reggie Wayne's right foot is digging a trough on the field. Yeah.
You know, that's one of the beautiful things about this turf now. It kicks up a little spray. You can really see it when a guy is dragging the toe.
Indy and Baltimore. Indy with 1 timeout remaining. Baltimore has 2. Here's a dive to about the 12.5. And with that, we get the 2-minute warning. Welcome back, everyone. You see the timeout situation. 2nd and 5 for Manning and the Colts. He needs the 8-yard line for a first down. Pass to the far side. That is complete to Garcon. And Garcon fighting his way. First and goal. A dive. Dancing to the goal line. Touchdown.
Well, that was really a fine piece of work by the Colts offensive line. They did a good job of getting out in front of the last play, the bubble screen that picked up the first down, and then this time just straight away blocking. And John Harbaugh a little distressed that his big guys got moved out of the way that easily.
Big plays on that drive. A 22-yard reception by Santee, 21-yard run by Adai. Reggie Wayne had a big catch for a first down, and now the extra point attempt is up and good.
Well, Joseph Adai really was, and he's talking to Howard Mudd, the offensive line coach, and the guy that has a lot to do with the running game. But take a look at this inside, and then he just puts a move and makes Ray Lewis grab air. Ray Lewis is unblocked, and Joseph Adai does a little hip swivel, and Ray Lewis doesn't touch him. Boy, folks, you don't see this very often. Squared up, and Ray Lewis gets fingertips on Joseph Adai, and that's it. I got to think that Ray Lewis's ankle is bothering him, because that's a play we've seen Ray Lewis make hundreds of times before in his career.
Meanwhile, 2 red zone trips for the Colts, 2 touchdowns. They go back on top, 14-9.
Boy, they're a running back staring at Ray Lewis in the hole. That's normally not a pleasant outcome.
Not enviable.
No, it doesn't work out that well as it worked out for Adai on that one.
Ladarius Webb is deep. Remember, he has a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown this season. This one he takes at his own 5 and comes up short of the 30-yard line.
Well, Ray, the good news is Ray Lewis isn't being looked at by the training staff. But when we saw him go down just a little bit ago, he's right there on the left side of your screen, right in the middle right now. When he goes down, his right ankle gets caught under the pile right there, and look at him immediately go clutching his lower right leg. But he looks like he's okay. He's not getting any attention right now.
I don't think he's lacking for any internal fire, do you? Flacco pulls it down and then complete. Ray Rice, the intended receiver. It'll be 2nd and 10. 1:14 on the clock.
Well, right now, the Ravens, you want to get a first down for no other reason than you don't want to give Peyton Manning another shot. There's not a guy in football who can score quicker than Manning, and that incompletion stopped the clock.
Where have we heard that before?
Well, I think we might see a running play right here. If they're going to throw it again, they better think about completing it.
Flacco backing up, throwing far side of the field. There's Todd Heap, and he's out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Todd Heap was questionable today with a rib injury, but is giving it a go.
And boy, does a big part of their offense disappear if Todd Heap isn't able to play.
Number 1 all time in receptions, yards, and touchdowns for the Baltimore Ravens.
Right. Enough said. And he took a huge shot in that Cleveland game, and he didn't get any quality practice in the entire week.
On 3rd and 6, Flacco throwing far side of the field, and that is complete. First down, clock continues to move. 55 seconds to play.
And kudos to Cam Cameron and the Ravens. They're being aggressive.
Baltimore, remember, with 2 timeouts. Flacco for Rice. Rice across the 45 to the 47, and let's see, they are going to burn a timeout here. And Billy Cundiff, who has 3 field goals today.
You can see they need to get to the 38. That's to put him in range for what would be a career-long field goal. But, you know, on the last play of a half, you'd be tempted to even try it from farther if that's your only option.
Dan, you're talking with Coach Harbaugh this week about how Joe Flacco has been maturing, and he talked about how he installed the passing game for the offense this week.
He said it's the first time that it's happened. You know, Peyton Manning does it, and veteran quarterbacks do it, but he said Joe Flacco actually got everybody together and actually led them through the installation of the game plan for this game. And John was really pleased that he took that leadership role on.
On 2nd and 4 now, over the middle, and that's complete inside the 35-yard line to Mason again.
Well, that is a real strike by Joe Flacco. Boy, what a beautiful pass.
And they stop the clock right away at 29 seconds.
And they are inside of the range for Billy Cundiff. And again, working against this cover 2 of the Colts. The safety was playing way deep.
You can't complete that pass with a weak arm, can you, Dan?
No, you cannot. And Jacob Lacey, the corner, giving some ground. You know, he's playing a little off, but he got there just as the ball arrived. He just didn't arrive with a big hit.
Now, if you're wondering about Billy Cundiff's range, he has terrific range. He's good from 50, 51, 52. First down. Flacco, pump fake, looks back this way. Rice with running room. 25, 20 to about the 17-yard line. Gary Brackett makes the stop. Baltimore has no timeouts remaining, and the clock continues to move. 15 seconds and counting. And spiking the ball is Flacco to stop the clock at 12.
Well, on that last play, Joe Flacco had such great pass protection that the Indianapolis zone kept dropping deeper and deeper and deeper as time went by, and just more and more separation from Ray Rice, who was just standing there. And there's not a Colt within 10 yards of Ray Rice when Joe Flacco, look at that, there's not even one in the picture. He's got to run 5 yards before an Indianapolis player even comes into frame.
We started today talking about what tremendous pressure was going to be on that Baltimore offensive line. They've done a terrific job today.
We'll give them credit on that one.
2nd and 10. Flacco now under pressure and got rid of it. Raheem Brock coming in from the near side.
And with 7 seconds left, not time for another play. Here comes Cundiff. And that was an aggressive piece of play calling by the Ravens all the way down. A little wisdom being passed on there from the great Howard Mudd, the only offensive line coach Peyton Manning has ever known in Indianapolis.
This will be from 36 yards out. Cundiff. Got another one.
He flirts with that right upright, doesn't he?
Billy Cundiff doesn't want you to be too sure of it right off the bat, but he's 4 for 4 and keeping the Ravens within striking distance.
Well, in the other drives that settled with a Baltimore field goal, rather, there might have been some disappointment. Not on this one. This was outstanding use of the clock, aggressive play calling to work themselves into a field goal situation. And I've seen this before. Not sure there's anything he hasn't seen. Well, this will almost certainly be some sort of a knuckleball kick, making it difficult for Indianapolis to mount any sort of a coordinated return.
Well, John Harbaugh made it clear that he had had enough of Steve Hauschka.
Well, you knew when he pull hooked that first one in Cleveland that was that.
There is the squib along the ground, picked up by Austin Collie. Collie looking for running room and not finding much of it. still dancing, and finally goes down at about the 34 as time expires here in the first half. I keep going back to what you said early on in this game about how sometimes it catches up with you if you're kicking field goals instead of scoring touchdowns. If you kick enough of them, you're doing fine, but you have to wonder if the Ravens have that in the back of their head.
Well, the old question, when are 2 scores better than 4 scores? Yeah, if the 2 are touchdowns and the 4 are field goals, that's how. And again, the Ravens put together a half without getting into the end zone. They're not going to win this game kicking field goals. They're going to have to somehow score some touchdowns.
As we look at the halftime numbers in this game, you do have to say the Ravens have played a terrific ball game here today.
No, they have, and of course they've been helped by Peyton Manning with 2 interceptions, and that is very uncharacteristic. I'm not sure you can count on that again. Almost 100 yards more offense for the Colts. But again, you're right. The Ravens have played well.
Ladarius Webb is deep and doesn't look like he'll return this one as he takes it at the back of the end zone.
Primarily, it's been a short passing game. For those of you that weren't with us at the very beginning, Greg talked about them deferring. Well, that decision didn't work out very well because they let the Colts start on offense, and they drove the length of the field and scored a touchdown.
Flacco will give it to Rice. And Rice will get stacked up at about the 21-yard line.
There they are, the first half possessions of the Ravens, and the lack of touchdowns. They have put together good drives, but you can see they stalled 28, 26, 20 in the 18. They kept getting closer and closer to the goal line, but again, those drives just they just ran out of breath and ended up with Cundiff having a 4 field goal half.
Well, Cundiff has been looking pretty good. Here's the give to Rice at the middle, and Rice breaks it to the outside across the 25 to about the 27 or 28-yard line.
Well, that's one of the things you really like about Ray Rice is that he sheds tacklers. You know, he's short. He's only 5'8", so he's got that low center of gravity, and those legs keep churning. And a high tackle is a tough thing to do on a guy that's that low. Lacey ended up getting him down, but good effort there by Ray Rice.
3rd and 2 now for Baltimore. Let's see if they call on Rice again on the ground game. No, Flacco will throw it. With time, over the middle and throws it behind. And was that intercepted? No. The officials say no, but Gary Brackett stuck an arm out and it looked like he had picked it off.
Well, it bounced right into his chest. And he had our back, his back was to the sideline, so we couldn't see the ball. We'll get a good look from this angle, way behind Clayton, and he just flips it right to Brackett. Geez, Gary, you've been in this league a long time. What's the use of running to the end zone with a ball that bounces off the ground like that?
Especially in the replay era.
Yeah, really, that was a waste of energy. In my idea, that wasn't close.
Sam Cook to kick it away to T.J. Rushing. High, fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So Manning and the Colts will start from their own 33. A dive. Behind the block by the first-year guard, Kyle Devan.
Well, there's the first half for Indianapolis. And again, those 2 INTs and a punt, the inside of that sandwich with touchdowns on the beginning and the end.
One of the stars of the first half for Indianapolis has been the tight end Tom Santee. He left with an injury. He is back on the field. On 2nd and 7, Manning throwing for Santee, and he's got it. Just short of midfield, the first down.
Keep in mind, everybody, Tom Santee did not have a reception coming into this game. So needless to say, Baltimore didn't spend a whole lot of time worrying about Santee being the go-to guy for Peyton Manning.
And not a whole lot of film to watch, was
No,
there?
as in none.
That tells you the kind of day Tom Santee has had in his second season out of Virginia. First down. A dive. Across midfield to about the 48. Jameel McClain, second-year linebacker out of Syracuse, making the play.
Well, Peyton Manning and Tom Moore and this offense that they have put together, it is just it's an orchestra, and in every chair sits someone who has to be able to play and play well. And it's just the pressure to fill those seats by Peyton Manning is so much that everyone responds to it. It's amazing how they plug people in.
Manning to throw. Wide open is Reggie Wayne inside the 30, and another pulled first down.
And you know another thing about this football team that makes them special? I'll guarantee you, with Tom Santee having the half that he had in the first half, that Reggie Wayne never in a million years would it have crossed his mind to go in there and go, I'm not getting the ball enough. You know, Reggie Wayne is the #1 receiver here. He is the go-to guy, and he is a selfless player.
3 catches, 51 yards. A dive to the 20. That duo, Peyton Manning, or rather of Reggie Wayne and Dallas Clark. First 10 games of a season, that's the best ever.
Look at who's in second place there. One of the ties, Johnny Morris and Mike Ditka back in '64. That was hardly the golden age of passing.
Yeah.
What an accomplishment back then.
It's the year after the Bears won an NFL championship.
That's when you ran the ball 3/4 of the time.
Manning, quick slant, diving catch made by Garcon.
And right now, it's pretty obvious that this is a Ravens defense, that Peyton Manning is just making them defend sideline to sideline, and they're struggling to do it.
Manning trying to get a snap off.
He just made Kelly Gregg sprint off the field, expend all that energy, and then he backed off. That's kind of mean.
Indy's had 2 red zone trips today. They've scored 2 touchdowns. Manning gives it to Brown, shakes a tackle. Ducks inside the 10. Dominique Foxworth coming up from the corner to make the stop. Pickup of 3, and it'll be 2nd and 7.
Well, this is a situation now where if the Ravens somehow can come up with a play and force the Colts into a field goal, what a moral victory that would be.
Quick throw, quick pass, inside the 5, close ball, picked up by the Ravens. That's another Colt turnover.
And that's Santee, and he is still down, and did he get hit? Boy, he got hit from one side, and then he got the second one from the other direction, and I think that's the one that knocked the ball loose.
Welcome back, everyone. Tom Santee, the victim of a big hit. First by Ed Reed and then by Ray Lewis. And the ball goes over to the Ravens. And LaRon McClain carries across the 5 to the 7. Flacco to throw out of his own end zone, coming deep down the near sideline. It is. They fight for the football just the other side of midfield, and it's pulled in by Derek Mason.
Well, Derek Mason played a lot bigger than 5'10", going up for that football. And what a play with Joe Flacco throwing it out of his own end zone. I mean, that's really good coverage. Powers and Mason, you can't be locked up any more than that. If it's simultaneous possession, it belongs to the offensive receiver.
45-yard pickup. First down, Baltimore at the Indy 48. This is McGahee. McGahee inside the 40, inside the 35, and a loose ball.
Lacy ripped that ball loose.
Chasing down on the far side. Who's got it?
Remember, that's got to be recovered inbounds if it's going to stay with the Colts, because the possession belonged to Baltimore.
First indication from referee John Perry is that it belongs to Baltimore.
We got people pointing all over the place. Remember, this is Baltimore's ball unless someone from Indianapolis gets clear possession in the field of play. Lacy ripped it away, no doubt of that.
The ruling on the field is a fumble. However, the ball was recovered out of bounds. It will remain Baltimore's ball, second down.
And that was Perry's initial reaction. Here's a look.
Yeah, this is Jacob Lacy ripping the ball away. Well, now in that look, McGahee's knee might have been down. Let's go back and look at that one more time. No question, Lacy rips the ball out.
Here comes the challenge.
But where's Willis McGahee's knee? I think McGahee's down. I think at first look, this look right here. McGahee still has possession.
Knee is down before the ball comes up.
Baltimore's challenging the previous play that the runner was down by contact prior to the fumble.
That look right there, we could see where the knee was. Welcome back to Baltimore, everybody. Let's really look at the left knee of Willis McGahee and establish when he's down. Not yet there, he's down. And it looks like he still has the football before Lacy rips it out. There, the ball comes loose. Now the question is going to be whether John Perry thinks that knee is down while he has possession.
And we're talking about a difference of 22 yards on the field to the advantage of the Baltimore Ravens.
Right. It remains Baltimore's ball either way, but it's either going to be a first down in Indianapolis territory or they're going to give up an awful lot of yardage. Remember, the ruling on the field was a fumble, so Perry's going to have to see really conclusive evidence otherwise.
Replay was the good friend of the Ravens early in this game on a fumble that looked like a turnover, but the runner was ruled down.
Boy, we've just on this one possession, we saw Derek Mason and Powers have simultaneous possession of a long pass from Flacco out of the end zone. And then here we're going through it again as to whether Lacy ripped it away from Willis McGahee.
John Perry is not going to look at this as just another day at the office, is he?
You know, it's a good look at the way defenders are taught now. If the one guy is making a tackle, the second guy goes for the football. And that is why running backs and receivers do a lot of upper body work now. You know how much strength it takes to hold on to a football when someone has two hands on it attempting to rip it away?
Believe me when I tell you I have no idea.
Well, trust me, it takes a lot. See right there, the tackle's being made, so Lacy knows he's got the luxury of doing nothing but going after the football. I think that'll be the look that John Perry will base his decision, because this look right here, we can see the knee down, but we can't clearly see the football to know when it came loose.
After reviewing the play, the player was down by contact prior to the fumble. Therefore, it will be 1st and 10 for Baltimore on the 32.5-yard line, right hash. Baltimore is not charged with the timeout. The clock stands as it is.
Works out in every conceivable way for the Baltimore Ravens.
And I think it was the right call. That last look that we had from behind, I think, showed that McGahee's knee was down while he still had firm possession of the football.
Put it right here.
Okay, you got it.
So the line of scrimmage, the 32.5 of the Colts. Kelly Washington in motion. The give is to Rice on the right side. Rice inside the 20. And a first down.
Well, nice blocking on the right side of the Baltimore offensive line. And again, at only 5'8", when Ray Rice gets low, it's really low.
Here's Rice again. And he may have lost a little bit of yardage here. We are told that tight end Tom Santee has a neck injury and his return is questionable. Let's go back to that play.
Well, he took this hit from Ed Reed low, and then coming in from the left, there's Ray Lewis. It catches him off the ground. Santee not expecting it, and you know there's an instinct when you get your feet knocked out from under you that your arms come away from your body to try to help you land. And while that ball was away from his body, Lewis knocked it loose.
Flacco throwing far side of the field, has his man, and that's complete to Mark Clayton.
Well, there's how you go up, elevate, and just snatch the ball out of the air with your hands.
And make your first catch of the day.
Yes, that's Clayton on the outside. You can see that when he makes his plant, the ball is already in the air. Flacco throws it away from the defender to the outside, and Mark Clayton makes a really, really good adjustment to it.
LaRon McClain in the backfield. Third and short yardage. McClain not going to get it.
Are we going to see another Baltimore field goal?
You betcha.
The Indianapolis Colts have turned the football over 3 different times. The Ravens have not turned the ball over at all. And the Colts are looking at only being 1 point down.
Now, the Colts kicker, Matt Stover, used to play here in Baltimore. And 4 times he kicked 5 field goals in a game. Cundiff is going for his 5th of the day from 30 yards out. The kick is up, and he pushed that one wide. 4:55 to play in the third quarter in Baltimore, and Tom Santee is back on the field for the Colts, who don't make it a habit of turning it over 3 times in a game. From their own 20, a dive. Maybe 2 yards on the play.
Yeah, the struggles of a kicker after you miss a kick. The Ravens have done a pretty good job of taking Dallas Clark out of this game. He got 1 reception, that touchdown, but that's it.
On 2nd and 8, a dive to about the 26. And it'll be 3rd and 4.
Good pursuit. Ray Lewis, the entire Ravens defense.
Lewis's numbers on the day. 3rd and 4. This Baltimore crowd has been into it from the opening kick.
Not a single Raven is in a 2-point stand, a 3-point rather.
Quick pass off the hands of Dallas Clark, incomplete.
You see sometimes where there's a couple guys down in a 3-point stance. The entire Ravens defense at time trying to confuse the Colts was standing upright. And that just was a little high outside, but that's a catch of Dallas Clark. 98 out of 100 catches.
Ed Reed deep for the kick from McAfee. High. Reed takes a look, fields it at the 24, and breaks outside. Spins across the 30. We began this day talking about these guys and the pressure they put on quarterbacks. Not today. No tackles, no sacks between Mathis and Freeney, who have combined for 18 sacks this season. Flacco. For Rice.
You know, we showed those two with no sacks, but keep in mind, it's easy to get sacks when you're protecting the lead. You know the other team has got to throw. Baltimore's had great balance today, run and run.
Flacco going to throw it here, and got his man Todd Heap across the 45 to the 46 and a first down. If there's ever any question as to whether Todd Heap is on the receiving end here in Baltimore, the fans let you know.
Yep. They give him credit every time he touches the ball. You know, the thing on Joe Flacco, I go back to what John Harbaugh told us, that even though these last 3 weeks or so he hasn't exactly played the best that he has played, the one thing he's done, he's taken care of the football. And no turnovers today. That's why they're still in this thing, and it's this close.
Play fake. Flacco. Oh, wide open and in and out of the hands of Derek Mason.
Oh, boy. A guy with over 800 career receptions. Well, he might have been too open. You don't get a guy this open normally against this disciplined Indianapolis secondary, but Derek Mason, gee whiz, that thing is just right there. Yeah, he sees Lacy coming right at him, but still, guy's been around too long to let that be a factor.
2nd and 10. Flacco steps up, throws, 40-yard line. That's complete to Derek Mason. Mason comes back and makes the catch for the first down.
Well, did you hear that ball hit his pads? Listen to this ball hit Mason's shoulder pads. Now that's when a football's coming in with a little juice on it.
I would guess if you were down there on the field, you'd kind of hear the zing just before it arrived, too.
You know, normally you'd think a football player is wearing pads to keep from being hit by another player.
Here's Rice. Diving to about the 37. Let's check in with JB in New York. James.
Hey, Greg and Dan, dusting off some cobwebs to hear this name here, Terrell Owens. Ryan Fitzpatrick from his own end zone, up top, T.O. open, 98 yards to pay dirt. A botched point after touchdown. So it's 15-10. Buffalo over Jacksonville, start of the fourth. Greg and Dan.
Is there really any reason for T.O. to celebrate down the field these days?
No.
2nd and 7. Flacco. Look out, Joe. Tackled out of bounds by Tim Jennings.
All of a sudden he comes out of there looking right at Raheem Brock right in the face. That's not what we practiced on Thursday.
Speaking of practice, we talked with John Harbaugh. He said, you know, how do you simulate Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis for the offensive line? He said, well, it's easy. We use Antoine Barnes and Paul Kruger.
They've got smaller guys that can move, but I'm sorry, there's a guy that you can't duplicate that spin move of his.
Final seconds of the third quarter. We have come to the end of 3. Greg Gumbel, Dan Deerdorf, our producer Mark Wolf, our director Bob Fishman. Delighted that you can join us as Flacco and the Ravens look at a 3rd and 9. Penalty markers fly. Here's Rice. Rice spinning inside the 35 to the 32, and now let's check the flag.
Offside. Defense, number 98. Lined up in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, they're getting Robert Mathis saying that he actually had his hand or his helmet across the football at the snap. Lined up that way. Didn't jump.
Ball, guys.
That's just one of those careless errors.
So now it's a 3rd and 4. Flacco, quick pass, and that is inside the 30-yard line to the 29, and a first down complete to L.J. Smith.
Well, that was a costly error by Robert Mathis, putting that 3rd down situation into a much more manageable chain mover, and that's exactly what Joe Flacco did. He took advantage of the shorter distance. We talked earlier, that's exactly where you want Peyton Manning to be, with a ticket on the sideline.
Rice for a couple. Daniel Muir, Clint Session combining on the tackle.
We're reaching that magic point on the field here, Greg, where we've routinely been watching Baltimore drives come to a screeching halt.
Much to John Harbaugh's chagrin.
They have attempted 5 field goals today and made 4 of them.
And for the 7th straight game, Ray Rice is over 100 yards from scrimmage. He lines up behind Flacco.
That's why he's their leading receiver as well as rusher.
Pump fake. Flacco throws outside, caught on the far side of the field by Derek Mason. Nice little footwork at the 15-yard line.
He shot Jacob Lacey off into space. The rookie corner up there. Watch this move by Mason. Oh, he gets him to bite on the post. And Lacey runs clear. He runs clear back into the end zone. Nice job with the feet by Mason. But the pump first by Flacco, but Lacey, boy, did he bite on that inside move by Derek Mason.
Robert Mathis looks like he might have gotten away with a hit to the helmet there as Rice pulls his way inside the 15 to about the 13. The Bears repeating. All the times the Ravens have knocked on the door today, they have yet to score a touchdown.
Well, now that we've moved into the 4th quarter, it's reached critical mass stage right now. Another field goal, even though the attempt, if it's good, would give you the lead. Not good enough by any stretch.
On 2nd and 8, Flacco throws far side, complete. Mason out of bounds just short of the goal line at the 1. What a bullet thrown by Joe Flacco.
I'm telling you, Joe Flacco, he throws a sideline pass. He throws an out as good or better than, just look at the outside shoulder, throwing it away from the defender, Lacey, who had inside position. Man, what an arm this guy's got.
1st and goal, Flacco gonna keep it. And no touchdown signal. 2nd and goal.
Well, he gets right in there behind his center, Matt Burke. A lot of Pro Bowls, and then 2 huge guards in Chester and Grubbs. But Joe, talk about huge, at 6'6", close to 240, Joe Flacco, a big man.
2nd and goal. McGahee. What a play by Gary Brackett.
Well, we talked about how big Flacco is. Gary Brackett at 5'11", but watch him just flow, scrape, and then get upfield. And man, that's showing a little power there, Gary Brackett. Look at him put his hat right on Willis McGahee and drive him sideways and keep him out of the end zone.
3rd and goal. McGahee not going to get there.
Well, that play, something looked really wrong with that. That handoff from Flacco, that took forever. Clint Session without a helmet.
Dan,
right there, that was not right. That one of them was not where they were supposed to be. Joe Flacco, that on a short yardage situation, that took way too much time. You don't run a delay in that situation. You want to get into the hole as quickly as possible.
Dan, we talk about the money head coaches get paid to make decisions. He's going for the field goal here, and that 20-yarder is good. Joe Flacco and the Baltimore Ravens trying to hand Indianapolis its first loss of the season. That man, newly signed Billy Cundiff, has hit 5 field goals today. And Baltimore leads for the 2nd time this afternoon, 15-14. That's Chad Simpson at the goal line. And he'll get a chance to return this from a yard deep in the end zone. 15, 20. 30 and out to about the 32-yard line. Certainly one of the best things the Ravens have done all day today is not turn the ball over, Dan.
Yep, take a look at that. No team has won yet this year. -3 or more, that's right where the Colts sit. -3.
Now let's see how the defense can stand up to Peyton Manning. Reggie Wayne. Wayne eludes one tackler, diving forward and has a first down.
The one thing about Indianapolis, and this is obvious, but I'm going to say it anyway, they've been in this position so many times, it's just another day in the office for these guys. Now, what's not another day in the office is on the road against Ray Lewis and the Baltimore Ravens. They're not the defense they were years ago, but they're still pretty darn good.
Manning on first down, throws incomplete.
Just start moving towards Thanksgiving, things start to tighten up.
On 2nd and 10, Manning throws over the middle, has his man. Pierre Garçon inside the 45 and a first down.
Well, Garçon's working against Fabian Washington, and Washington gives him a lot of room underneath. He's not going to let anything get behind him. And look how soft that was in that bubble. And Garçon, the second-year guy, he found it. He's playing with a bad ankle.
Now, we talked to Reggie Wayne. He said, what's the big difference with Jim Caldwell in charge? He says he wants to make sure you're fresh when the fourth quarter of the game comes around.
He's pretty good about resting guys, asking them how they feel, if they need a break, need a little time off.
Garçon, 5 catches, 102 yards. On the reverse, Garçon, looking for running room, got tied up with his own blocker.
Well, for an offense that bases its entire existence on precision, that one looked a little
after
bungled.
the play, personal foul. Number 92, defense. Unnecessary roughness. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
This is on Haloti Ngata, and this is a costly one.
Oh, you can say that. Garçon is on the ground, and in comes Haloti Ngata with his elbow and forearm right into the kidney of Pierre Garçon.
All 345 pounds of him.
And Garçon is lucky. You know, that's you know, the old Roadrunner cartoon where at the end of that you're only about 3 inches wide. You know, you've been compressed. Now the crowd can boo, but that's a penalty. That should have been called and was.
Manning. Reggie Wayne again. 25, 20, 15. Inside the 10, it'll be first and goal for the Colts.
And did you see Reggie Wayne cover up the football at the end of that play when he knew the Baltimore Ravens were starting to converge? What a great play by Wayne. This is only about a 3-yard pass. And here comes Peyton in a hurry. Again, he forced the Ravens to scramble off the field. He's a little devilish in that regard, isn't he?
Wayne and Dallas Clark to the near side. Quick pass to Wayne. Pushed out of bounds at about the 7. Dominique Foxworth. Talked to Reggie Wayne. Asked him, you know, when you come to the line against these guys, what do you do? He said, I look to see who's covering you. He said, I watch game film all week. I look to see who's going to be covering you.
Well, that guy, 18, he comes to the line and looks for Ed Reed.
Second and goal.
For good reason. Ed Reed already got one of them today. Well, you can see, other than that fumble, the difference between the two teams. The Colts have gotten in the end zone. They finished.
Manning throwing incomplete off the fingertips of Santee.
Well, the last time we saw Santee involved with much of anything, he fumbled. And Peyton Manning going to come right back to him. I think Peyton thought maybe Santee should have laid out and extended himself a little more for that. He didn't even leave his feet in an attempt to make that catch. I think that's why Peyton was looking a little disappointed.
Can the Ravens make another big defensive stand? 3rd and goal. Manning looks left, incomplete. Through the hands of Wayne inside the 5.
Well, the Ravens only came with a 3-man rush, and when you're backed up to your goal line like that and you drop 8 guys back into coverage, man, things get awfully congested back there. It's hard to find a guy open because of all the defenders that are in your way. You saw 3 guys from Baltimore around Reggie Wayne.
Here's the ex-Baltimore Raven, Matt Stover, his first field goal attempt of the day from 25 yards out, and it's perfect.
Well, the Patriots still thinking about week 2 when they got beat by the Jets.
Webb from the goal line. 20, 30, and out to the 32-yard line. In the time-honored tradition of talking about a football game after all is said and done, there will be lots to talk about with this game. Flacco flips to Rice. Rice still on his feet, inside or across the 40 rather, to the 42 and very close to a first down.
Well, Greg, if you want to talk about the old adage of he who needs it the most, that is certainly the Baltimore Ravens in this regard. The Colts are undefeated at 9-0. If they lose this game, they are still in control of the AFC. The Ravens would fall to 5-5 and be in pretty tough straits. And John Harbaugh's club knows it. And that is why they are playing with a real urgency.
Rice. About a 1-yard gain.
Well, a nice play by Clinton Session. Man, did he crash to that party. I think Ray Rice was expecting to encounter that kind of resistance just at the line of scrimmage.
Just when you might think otherwise, along come guys like Ray Rice and Maurice Jones-Drew and show that there's a place for the hard-running little guy in this game.
I remember this guy used to play for Detroit that was only 5'8". I think Barry Sanders was
fairly decent. Flacco for Rice. Rice, midfield. Still on his feet, inside the 40 to the 35 of the Colts.
Well, you don't need to explain to Ray Rice the urgency of this game. I think he gets it.
22-yard pickup.
Boy, a quarterback's best friend to dump it off right at the line of scrimmage and then have a guy do this. That is some effort, and just that's talent, folks. Look at this, going laterally, cutting back against the grain. You can see the Colts just going by the other direction, not expecting it.
Ray, are you tired? Not yet. Try the right side to the 32.
Well, John Harbaugh told us a couple weeks ago when we did a Ravens game that what a surprise Ray Rice was. He knew he was a good player, or they wouldn't have drafted him in the second round. But he said, man, when he got here and we saw what he was capable of, we've got a Indianapolis player still down on one knee, Tim Jennings. But boy, he said, we just learned every day that Ray Rice was capable of so much more than we had originally thought.
Rice is now up to 138 combined yards from scrimmage. Never an easy thing going on the road in the National Football League, is it?
No, and it's one of the things when you're losing the way the Chiefs have been losing, you know, trying to keep it together in the fourth quarter against a superior team, and the Chiefs appear to be trying to do that.
Meanwhile, the New Orleans Saints looking like they're going to go 10-0 after today. Indy trying to hang right there as we come up on 4.5 to play in regulation. Flacco near sideline, diving attempt incomplete. Derek Mason.
Well, up until this point, as we now come to a 3rd and long, Joe Flacco has enjoyed pretty good pass protection. And this is a passing situation where a lot of times the Colts pass rush determines the outcome of this play. And Gaither and Orr, the two tackles, have had really good games.
Mathis and Freeney on the end.
They're both there.
Pump fake, throw, sideline. Mason, first down, out of bounds at about the 17. And another rifle shot from Joe Flacco.
Well, that time Todd Heap stayed in to help out on Dwight Freeney's side. See him there on the right side of your screen. That's Heap that originally gets Freeney, and then he runs right into Gaither. But again, I'm telling you, this good pass protection for Flacco, and he's been delivering some strikes.
First down at the Colts 17. Quick slant to about the 11 or the 12. Derek Mason covered by Jennings. Clock continues to move. 4 minutes to play in regulation.
That's one of the few times we've actually seen a slant pattern today. We've seen Joe Flacco really working this field from the numbers to the sidelines.
And somewhere in this stadium, someone's talking about how much time do you give Peyton Manning on the other side of a score.
Well, Cundiff has already missed one field goal. They better worry about the lead first.
2nd and 5. To give us to Rice. And the Colt defense looks like it's had just about enough of number 27. Robert Mathis and Gerard Powers combining for the stop. 3:20 to play.
Well, another 3rd and long situation here. Peyton's already going through his drive, thinking about what he has to do. He knows he's still got all his timeouts.
Both teams with their full complement of timeouts. In fact, 3rd and 7, and Flacco needs the 7-yard line for a first down.
Oh, there's a false start.
Pass over the middle, intercepted. Gary Brackett.
Geez, if ever the Ravens wish a penalty would have been called, Jared Gaither, the left tackle, he false started and there was no flag. He flinched. And if ever they wish someone would have thrown the flag, it was this play. He noticeably flinched and yet got away with it, much to the chagrin of the Ravens. Boy, they haven't turned the ball over all day, and there's some confusion between Ray Rice and Joe Flacco as to where that route was going to go, and it just gets thrown right to Gary Brackett.
Brackett could not have picked a better time for his first interception of the year. And now Manning with the ball at his own 21-yard line and 2:42 on the clock. A dive. Out of bounds.
Well, here's one more look at the interception. Joe Flacco, he sees Ray Rice coming from his right to his left. He does not see Gary Brackett coming from the left to the right. And oh, imagine the frustration.
Meanwhile, Fabian Washington down on the far sideline for Baltimore. And in some pain. In a lot of pain.
That's the worst part of this game.
Teammates surrounding Fabian Washington, the 5th-year cornerback out of Nebraska. And it looks like that left knee would be the problem.
Remember, let's go back to the interception again. Now, remember, I was talking about the flinch. Look there on the right side of your screen, number 71. Watch him flinch. That and then there another one. That's a false start. And from the side, he really took a big flinch, and that I see that called every day as a false start by an offensive tackle. And this is a real shame for Fabian Washington. 5 years with 3 years with Oakland, rather. His second year here in Baltimore. He was originally a first rounder for the Raiders, and man alive, he's
can't put any weight on that at all.
That's not a good sign.
Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to Fabian Washington.
Oh, right there, you saw his left knee on contact. He had the left knee planted, and you really saw it flex.
Ladarius Webb will replace him on the field as he's helped to the sideline. Manning comes to the line with a 2nd and 7, 2:35 to play. And the Ravens could use another one of those turnovers. Manning throw. That's complete, and a big hit by Ray Lewis on Pierre Garçon.
And Pierre Garçon doesn't even flinch. He bounces right up, and oh no. Let's not bark at Ray Lewis, Pierre. Let's we got to chat. Wow, that's a big hit. And this young man from Mount Union College in Ohio jumps right up.
It was a nice catch, young man, but give a little credit to number 52 who made the hit.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd be telling Ray Lewis, is that all you got?
Because you're still out there on the field with him. Baltimore used the timeout. They're down to 2. 3rd and 1. Joseph Adai behind Manning.
Everybody close to the line anticipating a run.
Manning, keep it, throw it, complete, 1st down, Reggie Wayne.
Oh, that's going to be close.
Timeout called for quickly by Baltimore.
Boy, where are they exactly spotting this ball?
First.
Dallas Clark. Well, I'll spot it. Yeah, let me help out.
Well, John Harbaugh wants proof of the spot. I thought when Reggie Wayne extended his arm forward, he had the 1st down.
Well, this is something you don't see every day. A bootleg by Peyton Manning.
Stretching.
He did, but he stretched it and then it came back. And of course, look at Foxworth trying to drag him back. Well, first of all, they got to see exactly where the ball is.
You're going to measure prior to challenging.
Right. There's no use challenging until you see the measurement. Well, this is going to give us a pretty good look. You know, where Reggie at one time reached it, and then he brought it back into his body when he went down. Well, let's just see right here where get that thing stretched tight, and it is a 1st down by a couple.
We will review the spot to ensure it's a 1st down.
Well, John Perry, the official, will take a peek at it. Given that situation, this is going to be awfully hard for him to change that spot. Reggie Wayne he's on top of the defender when he goes down. Yeah, looking at that, I don't see any way they're going to bring it backwards. Do you, Greg?
No.
Because, you know, his knee doesn't hit the ground until, you know, really the first thing that hits his ground is his derriere as he rolls all the way over the top.
Derriere would be more appropriate if it were Pierre Garçon.
Yes, I understand, but I just was trying to leave the locker room talk behind, which is very difficult for me at times. If anything, looking at that over and over, if he respots the ball, it might give him a little, he might give the Colts a few more inches. I think that was a from here it looked like a pretty good spot by the official.
Remember, Baltimore down to 2 timeouts.
What a big deal for the Colts. You saw Howard Mudd standing there talking to Peyton Manning. They go through all the pass protection schemes and responsibilities. When Howard Mudd and Tom Moore decided, when Jim Irsay reached out to them and got them to come back out of retirement and come back to this offense, what a gift. What a treasure these two are.
You know, I said it earlier, Dan, everybody talks about football games after they're done. There's an awful lot to talk about in this game that's happened here today. John Perry.
Yeah, well, it's been a busy week for the Colts, hasn't it?
After reviewing the play has been confirmed. It is a 1st and 10 for Indianapolis. Baltimore called a timeout prior to the challenge, and they will be charged their 3rd and final timeout with this challenge. They are out of challenges, out of timeouts. 1st and 10, Indianapolis.
Oh, there's the double whammy for you. John Harbaugh goes, "Are you kidding me?" Harbaugh's going, "Don't I get a timeout when I call a challenge?" If he actually went up there and called timeout first, if you call a timeout first and then decide after the fact that you want to go ahead and challenge,
then you've already burned one and then you lose another.
That's exactly what happened.
So the line of scrimmage, the Colt 31, and now the Ravens badly in need of a turnover. This upcoming running play will likely run us down to the 2-minute warning. And we get a penalty.
False start, number 86, offense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Well, Tom Sante's had himself an interesting day, hasn't he?
A mixture of good news and bad news for Mr. Sante. That was a false start in that situation is pretty much a total lack of concentration.
So now on 1st and 15, a dive. Back to about the 30, and we're going to come up on 2 minutes to play. 2nd and 12. Dan, you figure Baltimore has a shot at getting the ball back.
Well, with a few seconds left, that missing timeout is really costly.
A dive, right side, cutting it back, and brought down at about the 27 by Haloti Ngata. And the clock continues to move. 1:45 to play. More football coming your way here on CBS once we finish it off here. Jets, New England, San Diego, Denver, Cincinnati, Oakland, all coming up here on CBS.
Well, you know, Peyton Manning, you look at the play clock there in the upper right, now down to 10 seconds. He's not going to snap this with any wasted seconds.
Not in that big a hurry to get out of Baltimore. A dive across the 30 to the 31, and it'll be about 4th and 10.
So there's 30 seconds now, so they're going to have to punt this ball at about the 30-second mark or so, and
That's Ed Reed back at his own 20.
You know, this is with only a field goal to win the game for you. It is a possibility.
And we get a whistle. And Indy calls a timeout, stops the clock with 28 seconds to play. Ed Reed has 13 career touchdowns.
Now it's
one of them a punt return.
That's exactly right. I mean, it's good news and bad news. You use up valuable seconds on a punt return while a guy's running the ball, and you don't, but still, he is a playmaking son of a gun.
McAfee's kick, not a good one, but it'll take a good bounce. And Reed on the run. Tried to flip it forward and looks like he lost it. Freddie Keaho looked to cover it for Indianapolis.
It looked like it went right to him, and what I know Ed Reed was trying to make something happen, but geez, that was a bad play. Now, was he down before he threw it?
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by Indianapolis.
It would be an automatic review.
1st and 10.
Yes. Let's see if Ed Reed might have been down. That's the only thing the Ravens can hope for.
His knee might have been down.
It might have been down. His right knee might have touched.
And I believe they will check this out.
Well, it's automatically going on right now up in the...
Oh, he was on the ground.
Well, he's also in the... Did he still have... You know, you're trying to... When does he lose control of the ball?
Wow.
Again, you heard John Perry, our official, say the ruling on the field is a fumble. So he's going to have to...
Well, now there, it looked like the ball might have come out earlier.
Yeah, I mean, Ed's got the ball completely away from his body. He's... Now there... Yeah, see, he's lost control of it by there. Ooh, that replay we look at right there, I think the ruling on the field is going to stand.
Yeah, the replay has been a friend to the Ravens today, but this one may not be.
The fact of the matter is that if the ruling on the field stands, Ed Reed deprived his team a chance at maybe getting into field goal range. That was a very low risk, I mean a very high risk play on his part. Now he did throw the ball forward, which even if it would have gone to one of his own teammates, we got to play this all the way out. It wouldn't have been legal because the ball goes forward. If you're going to lateral it to a teammate, it has to be a backward pass. But I think he lost control. From that angle, it sure looks like the ball is spinning and starting to rotate out of his hand just as that knee's touching the ground.
And again, the point we've been making all day, this is such a critical football game for these Baltimore Ravens.
Let's go back and look at the left knee. We're looking at the right knee. The left knee is a little more obscured and harder to see. They both...
Here comes John Perry.
After reviewing the play stands as called on the field. 1st and 10, Indianapolis.
Well, the only man whose opinion counts has just rendered his. And again, Ed Reed's going in down there. It almost looks like both knees hit simultaneously. I don't know, from that angle, it looks like maybe the left knee might have touched a little bit before the right. Any way you want to look at it. High risk.
Bad play.
Bad play.
And Peyton Manning and the Colts one snap away from 10-0 on the season.